Hello, I'm Joanne, and this is Joe Mama's Garden. And it is bright outside today. I wanted to talk a little bit about the mesquite tree. So, the mesquite tree grows here in the Southwest, and it is one of the trees that's been around for forever. And the native people used the pods for flour. So they utilized what the earth was giving them. So let's take a look at the mesquite tree. This is a mesquite tree. It has dark bark, and if we look a little closer, let's see, at this branch, you'll see that the leaves are very fern-like. And twice a year, it comes with these little pollen pods, develop into yellow flowers, and they result in these pods. Each of these little notches has a seed in them. So if it were to go into the ground, you'd get a tree. These pods are also very sweet. The pods will develop on the tree, and obviously they dry and drop to the ground. This helps to feed a lot of the animals in the Southwest desert. Since there isn't a lot of green food available, they do get nutrients from these pods. Another thing to know about the mesquite tree, mesquite pods, is that it is a superfood. It is high protein, carbohydrate, and it's rich in potassium, zinc, manganese, lysine, and it's one of those great superfoods. Also, there was really no type 2 diabetes around when native people were eating these types of plants and creating the flour because it is low on the glycemic index, and one other great thing, it's gluten-free. If at all possible, you can get these pods and pull them from the tree. You know that animals haven't been eating them. There are a few different types of pods. These are not as colorful as some of the other ones that have this maroon tint on them. Obviously these came from the same tree. Some trees do have more of a maroon tint on their pods than others. Here are some pods that I've harvested. I just put these last ones here. And as you can see, they are from some different trees. These are a little bit smaller. Some of the pods will have holes bored in them, and that is usually some type of insect that wants to get to the seed, and obviously it feeds on the seed. Sometimes it tries to lay larvae in there, their eggs. That is why we are going to pasteurize this first to make sure that first it's bacteria free and that there is no eggs living in these pods. I have placed the mesquite pods on a half sheet pan, and we're going to place it in the oven. Place it in the oven at 225 degrees for 2 hours. We're placing this in the oven for 2 hours, and that is going to kill any molds that may be in the pods or on the pods, so we're not going to get sick, and also to kill off any insects or insect eggs, so we're not going to have that in our flour. So we'll wait for 2 hours and let that cool down. Okay, the pods are cool now. We are going to be using the Ninja blender today and see how that reduces these pods to flour. So let's fill it halfway, quarter way, just so there's room. The spout goes to the front. Push down. All right, let's much quicker, much finer. So let's pour it into this. Oh yeah. And we'll just sift out the flour here. You can see all the seeds.
Maybe that can go in one more time and make it a little finer.
Yeah, let's try that. Let me just sift this a little bit here. Quite a bit. I mean, there's more I can get out here. Okay, I'm going to put this back in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it should break the seeds down. Don't pack it too full.
No, it's not. There's a lot of air in there.
It's my husband, John, helping us today. How fine that is. It's actually quite a bit of flour by the time you get it sifted away.
There's a lot of flour left at the bottom.
Yeah, the only problem is there's so much sugar in this that it might get too gummy the longer it's being mixed up. All right, we'll continue doing this and we'll check the progress.
Was that too fine?
Oh no, this is perfect. Much better. keep doing this and we'll be back. We're going to try the food processor portion of the Ninja and see if there's a difference. That looks pretty good.
Let's see. Yeah, I think it's about the same.
Okay.
So basically, it's like whatever floats your boat. Do that over there.
Okay. So this is really... Oh, no, that's leaving bigger pieces.
Go.
So the blender is going to be it, because these seeds with the blender were opened and actually it was just a shell that was left. So this is from the blender. And you can kind of see that. Let's see if I can get it focused. It's just a hollow shell. So it's perfect. So we're going to go back to the blender. And let's put this back in here. This is much easier and faster than with that flour mill attachment that we had for the KitchenAid, because it kept getting real gummed up because of all the sugar. This is much better. Now it's just
Whoops.
now it's just sifting it out, which takes a little bit just to get it through the fine mesh. But awesome. All right, we'll continue. After sifting out all of the mixture, we ended up with about 4 cups of flour. I'm going to store it in a half-gallon mason jar. And so we have the flour in the mason jar. And to keep it from clumping it together, because it has a high sugar content, I'm going to put in toothpicks, and that is going to keep the flour moisture free. It took about 10 minutes to break down the whole pan of mesquite pods that I roasted, and it took about 15-20 minutes for me to sift all the flour for the 4 cups. Let's do a quick recap. So first you're going to pick the pods. You probably still have pods on your tree. You're going to hear them rattle. That means they're dry. Pick them, snap them. If they're dry, you can go ahead and harvest them. Go ahead and bake them at 225 degrees, or about 200 to 225 degrees for 2 hours. Let them cool for about an hour or hour and a half to 2 hours till they're cool to the touch. And then blend them. I suggest the Ninja blender because it does work better than all the others. Sift it and then package it, and make sure you put toothpicks in there to keep it from getting hydrated so it doesn't clump together. Mesquite is really a wonderful, wonderful tree. It gives us a lot of great wood to smoke foods. Also, it gives us pods for flour. These pods have protein, fat, iron, manganese, potassium, lysine. It's low glycemic index, and it is also gluten-free. It's a great, great thing to add to your diet, not counting all the great fiber you're going to get. It is 65 calories for a tablespoon. You can substitute it for baking, half flour, half mesquite flour, to lower the calories and also put a little fiber in there. And it has a great nutty flavor. Thank you so much for joining me today on this journey from harvest to flower of our mesquite pods. I'm sure you still have some pods on the tree. You still have time. Until next time, goodbye.